Welcome to the tutorial for HardWood. This After Effects template will allow you to get your text in a nice hardwood moving surface. So let's get started. This is what you get when you open the folder, the footage one, the output, and then you have HardWood CS4, HardWood CS6, and the how-to where you found this video. So I'm going to show you how to edit the one in CS6, but it's exactly the same as CS4. So let's get started. This is what you see when you open it. And what we have here is a placeholders folder, the animation distribution, sound effects folder with all the sound effects provided, also the bonus, the lower third, and we have 4 versions of this sequence with different lengths. So we have 40 seconds, 30, 20, and 10. You can also find these ones, actually let me close this, you'll also find these ones right there, so all the different sequences that you have. And all of them have different, of course there's not the same number of placeholders in all of them. So for example the 10 seconds one, you only will find the first logos, 2, hello we're about to 1 picture, and then it goes away. It's really quick, really for an intro. Then you have the 20 seconds one that has quite a lot of stuff. Only one space for 1 big picture, but almost all the texts and all the placeholders you saw, also including this ending with the social media placeholders that you can use for whatever you want. And then we have 30 seconds, which is basically the same as 40 seconds but speeded up. And then we have the 40 seconds. So if you're going to use the 40 seconds, you can write longer text in the placeholders, but if you're going for the 30 seconds, I recommend just maybe 1 word or 2 words for placeholder because it's gonna go pretty fast. So I'm gonna show you how to do the 40 seconds one, but it's exactly the same. So you just use the placeholders and then check in each one of them how it looks. Alright, so 40 seconds. Alright, let's open the placeholders folder, and what you have is 3 folders in there, one named logos, text, and video pictures. If we open, let's get started with texts. We have text 1 all the way through 8, and they all work the same way, more or less. So if we open 1, we have something like this, and it says hello right here in this layer. We can activate that, and we can change this text any way we want. We can make that bigger, place it right there, and if we go back to 40 seconds, we'll see that at the beginning we have this first text appearing saying hello. You can use that, you can use any text or any picture, any content, any shape in these placeholders. They will still work. I mean, it says text right there, but you can use anything you want, it will still hold up. And that is logos and text and pictures, it's just recommendations. You can of course use text or pictures and any of them. But if you want to keep what you saw in the preview, you more or less follow these indications right there. So text 1, you can of course use a logo as well here, so I'm going to bring this example folder here, and I'm going to import the logo. To do so, I'm going to drag this here, and we should get our logo right there, the Envato leaf. We're going to drag it to the comp, and here we have it. Make sure your logo has alpha channel, so it's just the logo and not a white background behind it. And when you get that, let's go and check in the 40-second one, and what you get is your logo with the color as still seen and respected, and you can of course change the size of that, etc. Right, let's move forward to text number 2, which works exactly the same way. It says hello, we're Envato, but we can change that to something different, and if we check it out, it says hello, we're very happy. Let's move forward, and we get the placeholder for the first picture. I recommend using a full HD picture or bigger. So let's go to video pictures and full pic number 1. There's a layer called sample, but we don't want to use that, so we're going to import something different and place it on top of that. For example, this picture right there. I'm going to drag it here, drop it right there on top of sample. And it's quite big, so I'm going to scale it down. Hit S, scale this down, and place it around here. Good. So if we go back to the 40 seconds one, you'll see that we have our text, and then we transition to this nice picture. and then we move forward to a different text that we can also edit just by going to text number 3. It says we'll fill stock and stuff. We can change that just by clicking in this text layer. We can of course change the font too. We can go for something simpler like that, make that bigger. And let's go back to check. It's automatic, so you'll see all the changes right there as soon as you do them. You can check that out if it looks good or not. Now we have this placeholder. Oops. We have this placeholder in text 4 that is only half of it, so I recommend keeping your text left to this line right there. That's a guideline. So I recommend keeping your shapes or text to the left. Right here we have a shape layer that I added with an arrow, and you can make your own shape layers. Any shape that you want that is a solid will actually be also on the HardWood picture. And since it's black, it has a little bit of tint, but if we made that solid, let's go back to text 4, if we made that, let's say, bright red, and if we go back now to check it out, you'll see that the red is respected, so we can get any shape or color. We can also have it in here in the HardWood picture. And also we have this window here, and this is called half pic number 1. So if you go to video pictures and we're in the placeholder folder, we go to half pic number 1, and let's import something for that. For example, this tower right here. It went into the sound effects folder, I think. Yep, right there. Let's get it out. Alright, doesn't matter. Let's just drag it right there and let's scale it down. Place it over there, and what you get is this window. Remember, it's not going to show the full thing, but almost. So remember, what's centered in here is going to show in this window, and then we transition to the next window, which is of course half pic number 2, and exactly the same process. We can import a different picture, drag this here on top of the same sample layer, and adjust so we get what we want, something like this. Let's go back to 40 seconds, and there we have it. So we have the first half picture, and we transition to the next one. Then we transition to a different text. That's text number 5, I believe. Have it right there. You can check it out. Let's close all these that we already edited. Of course, you can place video also in the full pic, or even the window ones, the half pics. It can be video or pictures, or even text if you want to. Anything you want, it will fit. Let's close this up as well. Let's go to text number 6. This example shows that you can use any shape, typography, etc. What's transparent will be respected as HardWood, and what's solid will be carved into the wood. So right there, what we get is something like that. Oops, 4. Yeah. Remember, as this text here is transparent inside the shape, so what we get is a text actually looking like it's coming out of this carved circle. So you can play with that to create your own carving effects, etc. And if we close this, let's go to the last 2 placeholders. We have this one. And this one is a curious one because at the beginning it will show, why not follow us, it will show the whole text, but then, as you can see here, it will show the whole text, but then half of it will go away. So it's maybe a good idea to keep the message on the second half relevant by itself. You may want also to just write something and have it break, and it doesn't matter because it's not for a long time. But in this case, I like to keep the second half just follow us, so it keeps the message follow us in there. So you may want to divide what you're writing here in 2 sections and maybe create a word play or something when half of it goes away. And then we have these logos that go up and down, and these are all inside the logo folder, inside the placeholder one. I have these 4 logos that you can double click, and right now we have just these Envato text layer, but of course we can import here any logo we want. For example, the social media ones as you saw in the preview. Just import them. And if you want to have some transparency, like keep some areas of the logo above the hardwood, just play with transparency, maybe mask an area of the logo, so at the end some part of the logo will be transparent, some not, and then you have this effect that the logo is carved in there. And as we move forward, you do so as we just imported the Envato leaf in here, the first logo, so we have it right there. And they're in order, so if you edit these four, they're exactly the same. And the first one appears, then the next one on the right, then the next one on the left, and the last one on the right, right there. And then they all go up and reveal the last text that sticks for a while in the 40 seconds version. And right here it says it's the website, but you can change that to whatever you want in text number 8. So let's go for your site, probably .com, and as you can see, it changes automatically. Now a few more adjustments. Well, as you can see right there, well, we missed actually this second full picture, which is right there. Full pic 2, we didn't import anything, so let's find something like this picture right here. Let's drag it, that's simple, and let's scale it down. Remember, this can also be video. That will start playing actually a little bit before revealing, so the important part of the video should be around 1 second, something like that. Because at the beginning you have the wood moving and you won't see most of the picture. So let's check that out, and here you have it. Remember also that parts of your image are going to be blocked by this wood appearing right there. And if you want to check that out, let's see how this looks in 30 seconds version. It's almost the same but quicker, so it's going to look exactly like what we saw. 20 seconds, we have just the second picture, I believe. So if you want to use the 20 seconds, make sure you edit the second full pic right there, and then we have the logos. And the 10 seconds version, what you get is just the beginning with the logo, then one text, and then straight forward to the second picture, and then it goes away. It's a good idea to introduce your show or your video just to have your logo, the title for example, and then for a few seconds you have the beginning with this wood right there, and then it goes away to the whole extent of the video, etc. So last thing to talk about here is the control layer that will allow you to make some changes to this based on expressions. So we have here the control layer that's right there, and if you go to control, you have only one layer named control layer, and if we go to effects right here, we're gonna see that it has 3 different controls that will allow us to change what we see on our video. So if we uncheck first regularity, what we're gonna get is that every wood piece is gonna align at the end. So we're gonna get something like that. Now there's no irregularity, every text lines up, every shape lines up. So you may want to keep that in mind if your style is not as grungy, and you want to keep readability. So you can as easily just go to control and play with that, check irregularity, and that's it. If you want to have less irregularity, you can keep that checked, so we have irregularity, but play with that displacement slider. Let's say we go to -3, and what you're gonna see is that this very slight displacement. So the hardwood pieces don't line up exactly, as you can see here. They don't line up, but the displacement, the difference is very small. So you can play with that slider to make more or less irregularity pretty easily. And if we go much bigger than -15 or something, you're gonna start to see that some pieces are showing what's behind. while transitioning. For example, right there, as you can see. But you may want to play with that as well if your style is different. You may want to have some dark background or show more irregularity. As you can see here, the letters are quite spread. It's still easy to read, but not that easy. It's gonna look something like that, with your logo having all the pieces in a different direction. So let's play a little bit more of that. Even more irregularity, but I'll tell you, you're gonna see some of the background while transitioning. So if you want what you saw in the preview, keep that at -11, and it's a pretty cool irregularity. And if you don't want, just uncheck this checkbox. And here we have the last control. This is the seed. Let's say right here you don't like the way this is going up or down. So if you go and change the seed, let's say you don't want this S to be right here right now. So if we change the seed, we're gonna see that everything changes and the wood parts are moving differently. So what this does is changes randomly the animation. Let's go for another example. I'm gonna keep that so you can see that. Let's go to control and keep that locked so it doesn't move. And we go back to the 40 seconds one. And if you don't like something in particular about the transition, you can change the seed. You will keep the displacement exactly the same, but it will change the way the movement goes, and it will change the way the irregularity affects every different piece. So if you want to play with that, it's exactly the same, but it will change things a little bit, so you can play with that. Let's say right here you have this shape, but if we change this, it's going to be a different shape. So you might want to experiment until you find one that you want. It's always slightly different, but pretty much the same. But I gave you that option so you can, if you don't like something very specific about the animation, about I don't know, this one is going too slow, and I don't like this one to be the slowest one, you can change that easily by changing the seed. And that's it. When you have it, just go back to project, select the one you want. Let's say we want, in this case, a 30 seconds, for example. Go to render queue, drag this here, and select your output module, your output folder, and hit render. And that's it for this project. Thank you very much for purchasing, and see you next time.